Mackenzie Johnston with Cattle News Central, bringing you your October 26th cattle industry headlines. Brought to you by AgRisk Advisors. PRF season is here and their advisors are educated and ready to help you mitigate weather risk. Their state-of-the-art technology and superb customer service ensures that your policy is in good hands. The PRF deadline is December 1st, so if you would like more information, go ahead and reach out to an advisor today. AgRisk Advisors, with you no matter what the weather. Also sponsored by Circle 5 Cow School. They host remote classes every week all throughout the Midwest so you can learn to preg check your own cows. To view their schedule, head on over to their website, circle5cowschool.com. That is the number 5 in there, or you can go ahead and just give them a follow on Facebook. I recently reported that the North American Meat Institute, also known as NAMI, sent a letter to the Secretary of Agriculture complaining that the Biden administration's work to combat concentration in the ag industry cannot ignore the fundamental principles of supply and demand. The Missouri Farmer today took a closer look at some of the facts pertaining to NAMI's statement. In 1977, the largest meat packers controlled 25% of the beef supply. And you and I know, as we talk about it all the time, the big four meat packers today control 85% of that supply. If we look back to 2015, NAMI lobbied against MCOOL to get it removed, and in the end, that's what happened. So when MCOOL was done away with, both producers and consumers were impacted. But while it was in place in 2014, cow-calf producers were paid about $518 per cow-calf unit. What a time. In 2020, that number dropped all the way to $85 per unit and is projected to be about $120 per cow-calf unit this year. These numbers prove that cattle producers are operating below their cost of production, and every animal that they are selling, they're losing money on. Additionally, the U.S. continues to import more and more boxed beef and cattle. In 2020, the U.S. imported a record 4.4 billion pounds of beef and only exported 2.9 billion pounds of beef. Currently, the price paid for fed cattle is the same as it was back in January of 2020. Despite the fact that beef prices are sky high and consumers are definitely facing sticker shock at the meat counter. Since the first 3 weeks of 2021, fed cattle prices have been unable to achieve even half the value of the boxed beef cutout. So NAMI is essentially attempting to educate all those in Congress and make them believe that the issues we are facing in the cattle industry are due to COVID and a lack of labor. They don't think that the consolidation we have in our meatpacking industry is affecting our markets or the ridiculous prices that consumers are paying for beef. And I've said it 1,000 times, but this is an organization that is receiving your checkoff dollars. And that is what is wrong with our beef checkoff. Organizations like this receiving our checkoff dollars that are literally working against cattle producers. You know, if NAMI is all about the packers and they are going to work against cattle producers, more power to them. But they sure as heck should not be receiving our beef checkoff dollars. It is a complete sham that they do receive those funds. USA Today has reported that during a normal year, we would start to see fuel prices start to recede right about now. But as you and I both know, nothing is normal anymore. In recent days, the national price of gas has hit a 7-year high. A week ago, it was $3.32, and a month ago, it was $3.18. And if you want to look back to the good old days a year ago, gasoline prices were $2.18 per gallon, according to AAA. Talk about some good times. So why are we seeing oil prices jump so high? The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries recently met and decided to not increase oil production. So this means that key members of the oil cartel, such as Saudi Arabia, won't be extracting more oil from the ground, thus keeping supplies tight and prices high. Here in the U.S., producers have not increased oil production because they worry that investments in fossil fuels might end up being a poor use of their efforts, because the Biden administration has made it clear that they are going to push hard and fast to step away from fossil fuels. Another factor impacting the price at the pump is a global spike in natural gas prices, which is causing some energy companies to consider switching to oil to generate heat this winter. This unexpected increase in demand is clearly impacting the supply chain and the prices you are paying at the pump. So far, California is leading the way for gas prices at $4.46 per gallon. So how does our brilliant administration plan to fix this issue? Biden has come out and said that he is frustrated with prices at the pump, which is funny he would say that considering he's the one that has caused this issue. And the Department of Energy is considering releasing crude oil from the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve, which is a massive supply of crude set aside for emergencies, such as wartime. It is ridiculous that our administration is wanting to tap into that reserve when we could just use the fossil fuels that we have been using over the past 4 years when gas was a reasonable price. The administration hopes that if we do go ahead and tap into this reserve, that it will help the issue with gas prices. But Goldman Sachs believes that this move will only be marginal, resulting in a $3 decline in the price of a barrel of oil. So essentially, it's not going to help any. And all of you know it out there. Gas prices aren't going to come down. They're only going to get worse. And we can talk about heating your home this winter. That's going to be a nightmare. Some people are not going to be able to afford to heat their home. Here in this area in central Nebraska, propane prices have doubled since last year. It is ridiculous that this administration is focused on such matters that don't really amount to anything in the end. They would rather focus on doing away with fossil fuels, doing away with all of these resources that we have used to make our country run. We're going to focus on that, and we're going to let everyone out here in America struggle to pay for fuel. We're going to let these high fuel prices just hit our economy hard, to say the least. We're going to let some people go cold this winter because we're worried about saving the environment, even though the impact of cutting back on fossil fuels would be marginal with the environment. It's always one thing and then another with this administration. That's all I have for you guys this morning. I hope everyone's week is rolling right along. Have yourself a terrific Tuesday, and I'll see you later.